Hey guys, it's Puff back here with another duel video, this time with my sweet voice and some commentary. Now, just a little disclaimer before we get into the video, the quality isn't as good as some of my other videos. Turns out my screen recording software updated and all my settings disappeared, so, if you really get triggered by 360p videos on YouTube, just click off now, never ever visit this channel again. I don't care. That being said, let's get into the video. For today's game, I'm facing off against Pakistani Tiger. He's a decent player. It's not the most exciting of games that I've had, but it's pretty interesting, so I decided to do some commentary on it. I decided to go as LB because I'm not edgy enough to play Desert Storm or Guerrilla Warfare, and LB is pretty broken, so, right off the bat, I do a pretty standard GC Ukraine expansion. It also works for LB that I found because just basically use tanks to expand. I also decide to take Slovakia and Hungary because I can, and also because Turkey doesn't really contest those countries most of the time. And yeah, so I take Russia Central with 9 tanks just to be safe, and also Russia Northwest, both of them just for income. I also end up walling Odessa and putting some walls in front of Kyiv, or big walls, just to try and delay him, maybe stop him from coming into Ukraine, though you can see in the next turn that it doesn't really work. I've also taken Russia South with 4 infantry. Sometimes some Turkeys will rush Russia South, but most of the times no, so I'll just use that to maybe take control of the Eastern Front. And so on turn 2, you can see that he hard rushed Greece. This could be bad for me because my plan is to overexpand as much as possible while keeping him away from my cap for as long as I can. So, I'm pretty vulnerable to a rush. But anyways, I send 5 tanks in a air transport down next to Athens to try and late move him, because I think that with so many units in there, he probably won't keep a lot in, and LB tanks are pretty strong, so I'll probably be able to kill whatever he has defending in it, probably. And I also built some walls to try and prevent him from coming up into the upper belts, though that doesn't really work either. Oh, and I'll also send my gen back into Warsaw because I need him should it turn out that he wants to rush me on turn 3. I probably could have sent my gen back a little further because to get back from Warsaw to Kyiv, I need to use an air trans, but whatever. And so I take the rest of Russia Central because that full bonus Russia Central gives me a lot of money. I also use militia from Russia Northwest to expand because LB militia is pretty strong. It's also really cheap. Oh, and yeah, I also use 5 infantry from Russia South to try and late move Georgia because he might attack Armenia. But I don't think he ends up doing it, so my late move fails. Whatever, it's not a big deal. The Eastern Front isn't really as important as the Western Front. But yeah, I'm kind of really hoping that this Athens late move succeeds because, taking Greece from him would really hurt him. He'd lose that nice 8 reinforcements. We were perfect best fuck, making dreams about our lives up in the stars. And yeah, when I late move, I put 1 unit in first to really reduce the chance of me TBing him before I send the rest of my stack in. So it turns out my late move into Athens actually succeeds, which is really nice for me. It really hurts him. Yeah, so at this point I can see that I'm pretty vulnerable to a rush. I've only got 2 infantry in Kyiv protecting it, and it's wide open. So my plan originally was to send my gen back to really defend Kyiv, but and I send the AT next to Athens back into Athens and take it out with 5 tanks to try and do something with it, probably to Turkish cities. And I think I end up deciding that I can hold Kyiv without my gen, and I think that he might attack Warsaw instead, or try to late move it, whatever. So I decided to actually stack both Warsaw and Kyiv. I don't know if this was a good decision though. Maybe I should have stacked Kyiv harder. You know, it worked out okay for me, as you can see in the next turn, but 17 or 18 infantry and 1 tank, that really isn't enough. I don't really know why I sent the 1 tank in, but could have used it to take some, expand some more. And yeah, and basically for the rest of this turn I just expand more, taking Netherlands and Belgium for more income, and continuing to use my strong LB militia to expand more in the Baltics. Oh, and I also realized that my Georgia late move failed, but it's not a big deal. You know, Eastern Front isn't as important. And so yeah, I end up trying to juice some Turkish cities. Even one city that I just like take would be pretty big, because it would really hurt his income, hurt his full country bonus. And I move everything back into Hungary because he might attack it, but you know, if he actually really decides to hard attack it, there's really nothing I can do. As you can see, I only was able to Jew 1 Turkish cities, and he actually went hard into Italy. So he actually didn't even touch Warsaw at all, which ends up being okay for me. And at this point, I realized that he can't really rush me because he doesn't have the Greek reinforcements, so he can't really chain back into Istanbul and then onto Kyiv. So I'm pretty confident that he won't be able to rush me, which makes me feel a lot safer. And so I take my stack out of Warsaw to protect Hungary. I'm doing okay at this point. I think I have the upper hand because I have pretty nice income. So if I were him, I probably would look to rush. Yeah, and I also send 5 infantry to Jew, probably late move some of those smaller Balkan countries. And I'll put a big wall in front of Kyiv to just keep delaying him for as long as I can. Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I'm using hotkeys to move my city, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard. Really saves me a lot of time. You can literally wall a city in like, I don't know, 1 second. And yeah, more expansion with strong LB militia. Send my gen back to Belarus, so if he decides to rush next turn, I can really use him. Send the AT back into Kyiv so I can use it later. Break Istanbul because I really need to pressure that city. Istanbul is probably Turkey's most important city next to Ankara, the capital. It's a major port. It's also a major source of income for him. So taking that would be a huge positive for me. So, turn 5, reinforcement turn. Turns out he went for Hungary, so wasn't able to really do anything. He also went hard for Greece, which kind of means that, I don't know. At first, initially, I thought that he couldn't rush me. I mean, look at those walls. There's no way he can reach Kyiv, right? Right? Anyways, made a mistake at the beginning, so I had to refresh. Try to take back, try to TB that trans and then take back Dniprovsk. I don't know how to say it. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not even gonna attempt to say it. Because I really just need that. I really want that full country bonus But yeah. Oh, I mean, I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't have gotten it anyways because he had taken Odessa. But anyways, the more reinforcements, the better. So I don't really think he can rush me, but there's no way he can reach, right? There's no way. Anyways, in this turn, I do some defending because I'm pretty weak right now. My cities aren't really, they're kind of open. He has a lot of units, decent amount of units in the upper Balkans. It's really threatening me, so I need to protect. And also expand more into Norway. Norway has really good income, especially in a duel like this where both of us don't have that much money. And yeah, here I do something really, I don't even know why. I left 7 reinforcements in Kyiv, and then I built a couple militia in Belarus with my gen and just sent it down. Didn't even put it in Kyiv, but why? I don't even know, you know? Guys, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Pretty noob of me, but don't really know why. Send my walls back into Kyiv. I mean, I didn't think that he would be able to rush me. Oh, I also tried to late move Athens again, along with Georgia. And yeah, I get rushed. But like, I don't even know how he had the range. Maybe I'm just a noob, but that's some pretty darn good range. Damn. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of nervous at this point because, you know, I don't have any immediate reinforcements in the surrounding area. I only have 2.3k. It's not bad, but I really don't have any units in the surrounding area. So I have to build ATs in Moscow and St. Petersburg to even try and reach. And I really wanted to build some tanks because LB tanks really would have really helped me, but you know, I just didn't have any money. I needed to build those ATs to reach, so I decided to build basically just all infantry. And I kind of realized at this point that I probably won't be able to recap because, you know, he has 25 units. He has that extra 7 reinforcements that I left because, you know, I'm dumb. And I don't have enough attack, not enough money to build tanks. I probably should have waited another turn. It might have helped me, but I don't know. Really don't know. But you know, you can't regret anything in life, so. Honestly, at this point, the only chance he has of winning, I think, is just, you know, holding on to Kyiv. Because, I have much more money than him, even though it's not a lot, but I have much more money than him, more reinforcements, imp units. He basically is just stacking the upper Belks, but he can't really do anything with them. They don't have a lot of attack, so I'm pretty safe now that Poland is Warsaw is walled and Czech is walled. I have a decent amount of units in Slovakia, and I managed to Jew his smaller Balkan nations. Here I try to take Hungary. And yeah, I really hope that my recap will work, but it's, you know, pretty debatable. So I have to expand some more for money, should I not be able to recap. And yep, of course the recap fails. Of course it fails, because I left 7 freaking infantry, or 7 freaking reinforcements in Kyiv for him to use. So dumb. So dumb. And so I'm kind of feeling confused and lost at this point, because, you know, I probably lost this game. There's no way I can recap, right? The only way I can even attempt to win this game is if I manage to TB all his extra reinforcements, because he's probably used up all the reinforcements in Kyiv. So I send my hijacked 747 into Istanbul to try and TB it. Hopefully, I mean, but it's only 1 unit. There's really, it's a very low chance. And I see 6 infantry. I also TB Odessa with 1 from Moldova, and I see 6 infantry. in the middle of nowhere, so I try to TV that with 2 infantry from Hungary. But honestly, there's a really low chance that I'll win this game. There's no way that I'm going to win this game. He has Imp. With Imp, you can build so many extra reinforcements, build so many infantry. You're so good at defending, and I don't have really enough money. The only way that I can probably recap is with LB tanks, because they get, you know, super crazy rolls. It's pretty broken. But hey, you know, if the strat's in the game, it's meant to be used. Desert Storm's in the game, it's meant to be used. That's how I see it. And yeah, I'm hoping that my hijacked 747 in Istanbul will work. Terrorize some Turkish people. Hopefully stop them from going into Ukraine. For my Odessa TB, I only sent one, but a lot of players just like to send all their reinforcements to Odessa first before sending it to Kyiv. So the more he stacks Odessa, the higher my chances of TBing him will be. But it's still pretty low. I'm pretty sad, and you can see. Oh, and yeah, I don't know how, but I managed to recap, and then I see Odessa with 20 infantry in the trans. I just laugh because I don't know. I got really lucky there, guys. I got really lucky in this game, being able to TB Odessa and recap, and I got nice rolls, I guess, in Kyiv with those LB tanks. And so I think I've pretty much won the game here. All I need to do is just hold Kyiv, and because all he can do at this point is probably just to rush me again. He can't really hurt my cities, because most of them are pretty protected. And yeah, he's pretty vulnerable. So the only thing he can do is just rush. So in this turn, I basically just do all I can to send as many, you know, as much defense as I can into Kyiv. Can't believe that hijacked 747 worked, dude. Pretty insane. And yeah, he kind of defended Ankara. I think that was a result of my TB in Istanbul, but I'm not really sure why he defended Ankara when it was already wall last turn. I don't know. So I break Ankara with an AT, and I send a couple ATs back, or one AT back into Moscow and St. Petersburg respectively, just, you know, because next turn is reinforcement and I can use those to jet troops. Yeah, as much defense as I can into Kyiv. Just need to hold it to win. And yeah, like I said, he rushed me again. And I only won by 4 militia, which I thought was pretty lucky, but I later used the Clovis calculator, and turns out I had a 92% chance of winning. So I guess I managed to pull it off. Definitely was very lucky with that Odessa TB though. And he says GG, and I think this is pretty much game for me here. He can't really do anything. I have more reinforcements, more units. My cities are protected. His are not. He doesn't have any income at all. Anyways, it's pretty much game. So I hope if you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, I don't really care, just leave. I'm kidding. Please like the video and subscribe if you really enjoyed it and want to see any future content. If you have any suggestions, don't hesitate to comment. And not the best player, but always improving, finding new things to try and do. And yeah, I'll just skip to the end of the video because, you know, it turns out that he actually surrendered. Come on, guys, if you surrender, Just tell your opponent. Don't make them waste another 4 minutes of their life. All right. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.